right, this next one might be the best hook on the whole album.
I've been waiting for these gifts, I've been waiting all year long. Alright, but when I woke up to sneak a peek, all the presents were all gone. Alright, now I ain't one to make a fuss, but Christmas ain't the same. When that old boy James playing Rain with the 94.
Just imagine, like a thought experiment, imagine that instead of him talking about his Christmas presents getting stolen and how James is playing reindeer games, imagine that he's rapping about something like really serious. This would be really good. This would totally fit in with like 90s era like classic hip hop songs. It's just gonna be goofy because he's talking about his Christmas presents getting stolen and how that's like, you know, this horrible thing. So it's just funny, you know, like I said, he's in that sweet spot, you know, because musically it's absolutely there, but lyrically it's still funny and clearly not meant to be taken seriously. The melody of this hook is really great. He's not like, you know, some incredible singer, but I think with a hip hop hook, that works, you know. You don't have to be like some fantastic singer to like pull off a hook like this. It's really more about kind of showing your style, right? And the way that you phrase things and just the tone of your voice. Those are really the more important elements of a rap hook. At least in my opinion they are. He makes sure to like do these tasteful things, like doing that big scoop on that last James, the James. It's kind of got this nasty like, whoa, like he starts it flat and then really scoops it up. It does something with that hook, really just like adds some kind of edge to it.
Don't worry, Mike, we're going to figure this out. We're going to get them presents back. That's what Christmas is about. See, without presents, man, Christmas ain't the same. Mike looked over at me and said it's gotta be James.
Again, he picked words that fit that groove. Said it's gotta be James, right? It all flows nicely. He does just little things like that. The beginning of that line, I don't know what the whole lyric was, but he starts that line with, see, without presents, man, Christmas ain't the same. And that doing that little kick there on C, instead of just going, see, without presents, man, Christmas ain't the same, doing that little kick, see, without presents, man, Christmas ain't the same. It just makes it more groovy. And this is what I was saying with the Halloween song. What it does is it keeps the whole flow of the entire verse interesting because he's not just doing the exact same rhythm every single time.
Them guys headed out on that cold winter night with the snow shining bright underneath the moonlight.
He just threw in some legit imagery there. Just saying, that's pretty cool. And yeah, I just gotta say, I mean, what a rapscallion this James fella is. The more I hear about this James fella, the less I care for him, I tell you.
We was getting tired, we was about to call it quits, and all of a sudden we got an anonymous tip.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Again, it's the words that fit with it, right? Based on just how we say them, based on the emphasis of these words, right? All of a sudden we got an anonymous tip, right? So like the word anonymous, for instance, when I say it anonymous, I'm emphasizing the syllable non, right? Anonymous. When he says it here, you can hear that that's what he's doing and it fits with the rhythm, right? So I'll play it again.
And all of a sudden we got an anonymous tip.
And then he emphasizes tip, got, all of a sudden we got an anonymous tip, right? And those are all the syllables that would be emphasized when you say them. So that's why that flows so well. That's why that rhythm works so well.
Mike said, shut up, James, give us back our presents. I looked at Mike and said,
shut up, James, give us back our presents. Says it so fast. I love that. I mean, maybe he's just doing that to, again, like play with the rhythm a little bit and keep it interesting. But yeah, it's so funny. I love that. Now get ready because I got another good hook for you.
so long, so long. I keep thinking that my friend's gone for good. I need a shoulder I can lean on, but he's gone and now I'm all alone.
The backing vocals are such a huge thing here. So long, so long. Those little things that add a little texture to it. And he really knew like where to put them in the mix, like what volume to put them at, and just kind of where they sit in the mix to make them really serve their purpose well. Really support the lead vocal and support the hook there. But yeah, again, what a great hook. Good melody that follows the chord progression. I mean, this beat has like a decently long chord progression. The entire chorus is just one progression. It's not repeating something multiple times. It's not easy to write a melody that fits with a chord progression like that and fits the whole way like that, you know?
I miss Mike, I ain't seen him in a long time. I wanna high five, hear him spit a new rhyme. All the clothes and the whips and the clips and the guns and the money and the drugs and the honeys and the thugs.
Another thing, right? Little internal rhymes, just keeping it interesting. And this song, it's interesting because he's moving towards something more serious. Like, this song is about drug addiction, right? And like his best friend, you know, getting involved in a lifestyle that's really gonna be damaging to him. This is much more serious than any of the other songs in the album.
He said, get out my face before I hit you in the lip. But that wasn't my talking, no way. That was the trip.
Yeah, I was waiting for that part. How 90s is that, right? Doing that late, no, that was the trip. That's like such a 90s thing, and I love it.
That stuff is gonna crush you. I hate you and I love you. Think about how your mama's looking down from above you. Think about what she think, Mike. Think about what she feel. I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe it's real.
Pretty serious. Like, this is real stuff, and like he's totally handling it. Like, it's totally well done. You know, it's not like, oh man, he's trying to go serious and it's weird. Like, it doesn't fit. Like, it totally does fit. And that's one of the most impressive things about this album, is that he kind of transitions, as the album goes, he transitions a little bit, ventures towards this more serious subject matter and this song that, you know, would be made by a more serious rapper. And I say that as if he's not like a serious rapper. I think this song is proof that he really is. But yeah, just the fact that he makes that transition from a song like Dunked On, which is totally silly, but still enjoyable, to a song like this that's really not that silly. And it all still fits. It all sounds like, yeah, this makes sense that it's on the same album. That's a pretty amazing accomplishment, I think. And then the saga continues.
I had a dream that my best friend died. He was laying on the couch as he closed both of his eyes. And I just sat and stared ahead, trying not to cry. And all that I could say was I tried, my mind tried.
So something I've noticed at this point, he has a pretty similar flow with each song, but it's not really that noticeable. Like, it's, you know, I'm only just noticing it now, and this is, you know, I've listened to this album a bunch of times. One of the main reasons that it's not like irritating or super noticeable is because of what I was saying before, that he keeps it interesting. He keeps the flow interesting. It's not just repeating the same thing over and over again. Like I am with talking about it. But yeah, the lyrics here are super real. They're kind of dark and deep, and it's compelling, honestly. Like, I get really invested in the story. So just to go fully serious, he brings in, like, you know, a serious singer. I don't know who Megan Davies is, but I mean, she's clearly got a nice voice, and she's really singing this hook for real, you know. It works. It's almost pushing towards the serious side a little bit too much, and I'm only saying that because the rest of the album was so goofy and silly. Like I was saying, when you have a song like this that's just so fully serious, it's a little bit out of place, just slightly. But I mean, as a standalone song, this is really good. And again, this James guy, what a villain he is. I'm invested in this story. Like, I'm rooting for this guy. That on top of, you know, the hook being really good and having a good beat and continuing to have interesting rhymes and an interesting flow. I would still consider him to be kind of a parody rapper, but he's really got like a lot of musical talent. So I think that's all I'm gonna talk about with this album. I would highly recommend you go listen to this. If you liked any of the clips you heard here, definitely go check it out. Listen to it on YouTube. I'll link the YouTube videos to all these, but he has a music video to, I think, every song on this album. A lot of them have like a lot of stuff going on beforehand. I kind of skipped through that because I was just talking about the songs, but I think I'm gonna go back at some point and watch these whole videos, because I mean, some of these are like 10-minute long videos where the song was just at the end, and he has like a lot of like backstory, because he's, you know, he's a storyteller. Like, he's telling these stories that are, you know, childish, like sort of the kid who would tell these stories that are full of lies and way too exaggerated, but they're interesting to listen to, and having the music videos along with them really adds a lot, makes them interesting to watch. So definitely go check these out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to do that. Like this video if you want to do that. Dislike this video if you want to do that. Unsubscribe if you want to do that. I also make music. I just came out with an album. It's called It's All About You. If you check that out, I'd be real happy about that. It's very, very different stuff from Froggy Fresh, but you know, I think it's okay. I think I did a decent job, and I'd like to know what you think. Yeah, that's about it. I will see you.
'Cause I still hurt. Just love yourself. You take your foot off the gas.